Hey, it's Jen. This is the Bible for Busy People podcast, and the year is coming to a close. I can't believe it's been almost a year since I took over hosting duties for the lovely Erica Parkerson, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Researching and recording this has become such a needed part of my spiritual practice. My faith has been growing so much as we go through these studies, as we dig deep in the Bible, and I hope that yours has been expanding in the time that we spend together, even for just a short time in a busy day. I hope it's encouraging you in your spiritual journey, and the things that we study are leaving an impact on your heart the way it has for me. This week, we're sharing some favorites from this past year. Enjoy, and we are going to catch up in 2026 with some new episodes.
Purposely. Your life, God's purpose. Listen at purposely.com.
We're going to get a little into psychology today, specifically the psychology of novelty. No, we're not talking about those knickknacks that people collect and put on their shelves, unless that's your thing, in which case this might still apply. Hey, this is Jen. Welcome back to the Bible for Busy People podcast. This week, I've been thinking a lot about spring, the newness of spring, how things are blooming and it feels like a fresh start. The weather's getting nicer and warmer and the days are getting longer, and it feels like a new thing is happening. We as humans are designed to seek after new things and experiences. It's called a novel stimulus when there's a new sensory input that triggers a nervous system response. And this need or this drive in us is helpful because it keeps us trying new things and making new discoveries. You think even back to the beginning of time when people were exploring new places or coming up with new tools and new systems, new ways of doing things. And all of that, finding new things and new experiences, it feels good because it releases dopamine, which is a feel-good chemical in the body. So variety and unexpected things can promote well-being, whereas boredom or being stuck is not a great thing for us. We can be led to believe that buying the latest version or the latest edition or the newest trend will make us happy and fulfill us, or even just having something new. This started, interestingly enough, in the late 1900s when advertisers shifted to promoting products for want rather than for need. I read about this in The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer, where there was a specific change that people went from, having advertisements about the quality of something or how long it would last you to getting something that would make you feel good and make you look good. And so it's interesting, that shift. You'll have to look it up for yourself and check it out. But it's interesting how we became a consumer culture. Anyway, we are driven to seek new things. But here's the cool thing. God designed us with that need, and God also fulfills it for us. This week, in light of the springtime and the newness of the season, we will be talking about how God is making all things new and some specific things that He is making new. Today, we're reading in Isaiah 43. In verse 16, it says, "This is what the Lord says, He who made a way through the sea, a path through the mighty waters, who drew out the chariots and horses, the army and reinforcements together, and they lay there never to rise again, extinguished, snuffed out like a wick. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. The wild animals honor me, the jackals and the owls, because I provide water in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland, to give drink to my people, my chosen, the people I formed for myself, that they may proclaim my praise." We already spent a whole week talking about wilderness seasons on this podcast. And if you want to go back and look for it, it's the 40 Days with God series. But to recap, we all go through wilderness seasons. These are difficult seasons that challenge our faith. They can feel lonely, but eventually they bring us closer to God and lead to growth or transformation. A lot of people in the Bible went through seasons like this as well, and that's what we talked about that week. So often these seasons can feel monotonous. You can feel stuck, which again is not great for our well-being. We are wired for new things, so wilderness seasons can feel draining and discouraging. So I love the promise that God makes here to a people, the Israelites, who were well familiar with wilderness seasons, like wilderness seasons in the actual desert. Most of us don't actually spend our wilderness seasons in the desert, but these people did. But God promises deliverance, that something good is being worked through this season. It also sounds to me, this verse right here, that you will be provided for along the way. Protection, provision, deliverance, and something unexpected and something new and wonderful coming out of this season. That is how God works. God knows that these seasons are brutal, and God provides through them. There's a similar concept in Psalm 84, verses 5 to 7. This is actually a blessing. It says in verse 5, "Blessed are those whose strength is in you, whose hearts are set on pilgrimage. As they pass through the valley of Baca, they make it into a place of springs. The autumn rains also cover it with pools. They go from strength to strength till each appears before God in Zion." A heart set on pilgrimage. Isn't this like our faith journey in life? We're pursuing God and we look forward to heaven, but we have to go through the wilderness to get there. So the Valley of Baca is not considered to be a real place, but it refers to the balsam tree that actually physically produces sap in such a way that it looks like it's weeping sap. And it's also the Hebrew word for weeping. So when the Bible refers to the Valley of Baca, it's generally meaning a place of sorrow or a place of tears. This verse talks about how it's the pilgrims who bring forth springs while God sends rain. And I find that to be an interesting point, right? The journey transforms them, but through faith, they transform the wilderness on the way. It says they go from strength to strength. They're getting renewed along the way. So it's not that they are beaten down by this time in the wilderness. They're not taken out by this really difficult time. They're going from strength to strength in it. God promises a new way through the wilderness, and strength is also promised as we go through it. Another verse that came to mind while I was looking at this was Lamentations 3, verses 22 through 23. And I remember this as being a verse that I held to when I was going through a wilderness season of infertility. It says, "Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I say to myself, the Lord is my portion. Therefore, I will wait for him." And I just side note, thank God for the empathy and compassion that is shown by God to us. We don't deserve it. And I pray that that's an example we show to other people. But to conclude today, think about your own wilderness seasons. In what kinds of tangible ways does God provide for us on the journey? In what ways has God come through for you in a difficult season? What people did he provide to support you? What money showed up just at the right time when you needed it? What messages did you hear or things did you learn along the way? And what transformations have you seen happen through a wilderness season? Let's talk more this week about how God makes things new. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to The Bible for Busy People. If you need prayer or want to go deeper in your faith, visit our show notes. Will you take a moment to share with a friend and leave a review? It helps the Bible get into even more people's minds and hearts. Find more podcasts that will recharge you at purposely.com.